Welcome to the First Time Homebuyer Masterclass, Greater Halifax, hosted by me, Johnny Dulong, your family real estate advisor, helping you navigate your first home purchase with confidence. Meet your host. Johnny is a professional realtor with over 23 plus years of experience in the Greater Halifax market, a veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces, an IT professional with a 14-year career, a multi-award winning agent with Exit Realty Metro, proud to help first-time buyers make confident, informed decisions. What you'll learn today: understanding the full home buying process, mortgage options and pre-approvals in Nova Scotia, local and federal buyer incentives, Halifax-specific home buying tips, what inspections to expect, and common pitfalls to avoid. Step 1. Mortgage pre-approval. In Halifax's competitive market, pre-approval is your ticket to getting ahead and a must. Lenders look at income, credit score, and debt. Documents needed: 2 years of NOAs, proof of employment, taxes owing, and a list of debts. Shop local brokers and banks to compare rates. Understanding mortgage options: fixed versus variable, stability versus flexibility. Closed mortgages are more common here. First-time buyer programs help lower barriers. Mortgage brokers often access better deals than banks. This table identifies the differences between choosing a fixed versus variable rate mortgage. First-time buyer incentives in Nova Scotia. NS Down Payment Assistance Program, DPAP, First-Time Homebuyer HST Rebate Program for eligible first-time buyers on newly built homes or renovated homes or owner-built homes. NS Tax Rebate Program. NS Down Payment Assistance Program, DPAD. Interest-free loan up to 5% of purchase price. Maximum total household income is $145,000. Credit score 650 or greater. Resident of Nova Scotia for a minimum of 6 months. Halifax cap $570,000. $375,000 for Annapolis, West Hants, and South Shore. $300,000 for Yarmouth, Northern, and Eastern regions. Nova Scotia HST Rebate, new builds. Up to $3,000 rebate on provincial portion of HST for newly constructed homes, fully renovated homes, or owner-built homes. Buyer must live in the home as their primary residence. Must be a first-time buyer or haven't owned a home in the last 5 years. NS Tax Rebate. Key points: a provincial rebate offered to first-time home buyers in Nova Scotia to claim a non-refundable tax credit up to $10,000, which would result in a $1,500 tax reduction. Helps offset the closing costs during the first year of ownership. You must be a first-time home buyer and not have previously owned a home. The home must be your principal residence. The rebate varies depending on location and municipal tax rates. NS Tax Rebate continued. Application is made through your municipality or service provider. Proof of first-time buyer status may be required. Provide proof of ownership and property tax bill. Rebate may not apply to all property types, e.g. investment or seasonal homes. Combine with other programs like DPAP or FHSA for greater savings. Federal programs for first-time buyers. RRSP Home Buyers Plan. Withdraw up to $60,000. FHSA, new account to save tax-free for your first home. HBTC, First-Time Home Buyer Tax Credit. GST HST New Housing Rebate. Federal RRSP Home Buyers Plan, HBP, allows first-time buyers to withdraw up to $60,000 from their RRSP tax-free. Must be used to purchase or build a qualifying home. Home must be used as your primary residence. Repayment starts 2 years after withdrawal and must be completed within 15 years, unless withdrawal was between 2022 and 2025, then an additional 3 years. Minimum annual repayment equals 1/15 of the total withdrawn amount. No penalty as long as repayment terms are met. Withdrawals must be repaid into the RRSP or declared as income if not repaid. Don't have existing RRSP savings? Federal First Home Savings Account, FHSA, a registered account designed to help first-time homebuyers save for their first home. Contributions are tax-deductible, like an RRSP. Withdrawals used to buy a qualifying home are tax-free, like a TFSA. Annual contribution limit, $8,000. Lifetime contribution limit, $40,000. Must use funds to purchase a home within 15 years of opening the account. Unused funds can be transferred to an RRSP or RRIF without penalty. Federal First-Time Homebuyers Tax Credit, HBTC, a non-refundable federal tax credit for first-time homebuyers, provides up to $1,500 in tax relief, based on a $10,000 tax credit at 15%, can be claimed individually or split between spouses, common law partners. The home must be your principal residence. Must not have owned a home in the previous 4 years. Claim the credit on your personal income tax return, line 31270. Helps offset closing costs like legal fees or land transfer taxes. Federal GST HST New Housing Rebate provides a rebate on part of the GST or the federal portion of HST paid on new or substantially renovated homes. Home must be intended as your primary place of residence. Applies to purchases of newly built homes, major renovations, or building a new home. Rebate may also apply to housing co-ops and owner-built homes. Maximum rebate is 36% of the GST paid, up to a purchase price of $350,000. Must apply within 2 years of the closing date. Buying a home. Special notes for temporary residents. Down payment. Lenders usually require a higher down payment for temporary residents, often 10 to 20%, instead of the 5% minimum for permanent residents or citizens. Mortgage qualification. Lenders will need proof of stable employment in Canada, valid work permit, and a strong credit history, or alternative credit documentation if you're new to Canada. Legal requirements. You must ensure your work permit is valid for the entire transaction and that you meet the criteria under the foreign buyer restrictions. Non-residents usually cannot purchase unless they meet the temporary resident work permit exceptions. What temporary residents cannot do? Vote in elections. Only Canadian citizens can vote in municipal, provincial, or federal elections. Access certain government benefits. Some federal and provincial programs, like certain social assistance benefits, are for permanent residents or citizens only. Automatically qualify for first-time homebuyer provincial assistance. Programs like the Down Payment Assistance Program, DPAP in Nova Scotia, require permanent resident status. Temporary residents are not eligible for DPAP. Common inspections in NS. General home inspections, well water and septic, rural. Radon gas testing is encouraged in many Halifax areas. Inspection results impact negotiations. Halifax-specific considerations. Oil tanks are still commonplace in HRM. Be cautious of properties with erosion risks along the coast. Consider school catchment areas and commute routes. New construction often has limited negotiation flexibility. The market in Halifax is strong, and often competing offers are normal occurrence. Typical closing costs for buyers in Nova Scotia. Deed transfer tax, 1.5% in Halifax, varies by municipality. Legal fees, $800 to $1,500 for title search, registration, and disbursements. Title insurance, $250 to $350, third party. Home inspection, $500 to $600, additional for well, septic, or radon. Appraisal fee, $400 to $500, may be required by lender. Property tax adjustments, prorated from closing date. Mortgage default insurance, if down payment is less than 20%. Additional, moving costs, property insurance, and utility hookups. The buying process. 1. Get pre-approved. 2. Find a professional realtor. 3. Start house hunting in HRM and surrounding areas. 4. Make a conditional offer. 5. Schedule inspections. 6. Finalize financing. 7. Close and move in. Working with a realtor, realtor helps you understand neighborhoods, schools, etc. Prepare competitive offers, market analysis. Navigate conditions, inspections, and closing. Provides accurate information so you can make an informed decision. Best part, buyer representation is at no cost to you. Do's and don'ts for first-time buyers. Get pre-approved before viewing homes. Set your budget with future costs in mind. Ask your agent questions. Lots. Don't skip inspections unless. Don't make large purchases before closing. Don't assume you'll negotiate big discounts. Let's get you started. Ready to take the next step? Book your free consultation today. Let's discuss your goals and map out a buying strategy for your needs. Contact Johnny, John Dulong at exitmetro.ca, 902-209-4761. I hope you enjoyed watching this first-time homebuyer webinar replay. Until next time, all the best.